Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our first Nerd Escape YouTube show. Yes, this is the new Nerd Escape. Minus Damien. Oh, well. Irish Trekkie is off building an Enterprise D. Have fun, pal. No, in fairness, check out his videos. They are actually quite cool and quite helpful if you're going to mod out your kit later on, which I'm going to do. But anyway, this week on the Nerd Escape YouTube show, we have got coming up for you is a challenge of the week. We have been asking you guys, what have you been watching in this void of emptiness of Star Trek? We also talk some news threads of Star Trek stuff. So we have a topic this week which we can change, and you can actually throw in a topic that you might want us to talk about in future episodes coming up. We've also got a hot or not. We also have a Guess the Sound. So we've got lots of fun packed in this half an hour show just for you. So without me going on too much more, and without Linda just kind of going, we are going to pop over to Hayley Frequency for a special report and a little sponsor.
This is Hayley Frequency reporting live as Asmodeus and Q go head-to-head for ratings in their similar but separate Trials of Humanity. You can take part in our subspace poll to say which crew you think will come out on top. Retweet for Kirk, like for Picard. The outcome affects us all. Thanks to our sponsor, Quarks. Quarks is fun. Don't walk, run. Back to you.
Come to Quarks. Quarks is fun. Come right now. Don't walk. Run.
Have we been watching in this hiatus between Star Treks? I put the question out on Twitter. There are a lot of people watching the Marvel shows at the moment. There's, of course, Loki is coming out next week. Is it next week even?
Oh.
I think it could be. It's very soon. It's early in June. Stargate. People are rewatching Stargate. I tried to rewatch Stargate. Got one season in and then it disappeared off Sky. So, yeah, that wasn't great. For All Mankind is a big one at the moment. And as usual, The Expanse is on a lot of people's list. I see your amazing t-shirt there representing the Rossi. So, yes, I have been, today, I've been watching a few things. So, today I will be talking about WandaVision.
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah, so I'll start off by saying WandaVision is completely watchable as a standalone. You do not have to have 100% Marvel knowledge. If you have a very bad memory like me and you haven't done a rewatch of all the Marvel stuff up to this, then yeah, it's perfect. If you are a big, huge Marvel fan, well, first of all, you've already probably seen it by now. But if you're a Marvel fan, you will totally get the references. If you're a Marvel Comics fan, you will get even more references that are only in the comics. There's a lot going on in WandaVision. It's amazing. Every single episode is in a different style, so they just go through sitcoms through different ages. It's amazing. Every intro is different. Every episode is you can tell what show that they're trying to do. But when I say tried, it's very successful.
It was a fun part of watching it, trying to guess the sitcom. Yeah. Like there's a bit of Malcolm in the Middle, there's a bit of Jeannie, yes. There's, you know what I mean, they go through all the ages, which is fantastic. Yeah. And like you said it there, like everyone during lockdown, I know a lot of people previously when I went back to work the first time, like you asked people what they did and everyone just said, yeah, I did the whole Marvel movies in order, which is a heavy watch, and I did it lucky enough just before WandaVision dropped, and it actually ties in really, really well. But what I'm going to ask you is, how did you find, so say someone that hasn't seen it and seen the movies, so we know that Vision sadly was killed, poor Vision. We know that Wanda was kind of very, very bitter about it, and like these two characters are kind of like probably not the biggest Marvel characters in the Marvel universe, but they did have a cool kind of whole story throughout the movies. How did you find Marvel taking their first kind of standalone show? Well, it's not the first, but on the Disney platform. Yeah. How did you find picking WandaVision, and how did you find picking those two?
I thought it was brilliant. I think they are not as prominent as the other Avengers, but I've always thought Wanda is underrated. Scarlet Witch is probably one of the best Avengers. She's probably the most powerful Avenger, actually.
Probably, yeah. Bit of a Jean Grey, if you were like kind of looking at the X-Men as well, like so.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, no, it was a great choice, and because of their relationship, it was a good team up on screen. It's not Vision how you remember Vision at the start, anyway. A little jingle in the background. It was, you don't at the start. You don't know what you're watching. You're like, what? Okay, this is black and white. It's comedy. There's a studio laughing, studio audience laughing. I don't know what I'm watching, but I'm going to keep going. So after one episode, you're not really any wiser. But as the show continues, it's amazing. It gets very good.
Yeah,
I won't spoil or anything.
I liked it in the sense that they had the romance side of it was really, really cool. I liked the way how they got together. I liked, that they were on opposite sides during the conflict. I do think it was a brave choice by Marvel to do, but I just think it was refreshing to me. It was just completely... I know a lot of people, when you looked at Twitter straight away, were like, what's this? Yeah. And they didn't get it at the start. But it does kind of... Yeah. There's a good overall story arc. But because this is the one that you were chosen to kind of really think, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. So, how would you rate season 1 of WandaVision?
I would give WandaVision 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Only taking 1 point off because I think it kind of fluttered out. That's not even the word I'm looking for. It kind of, the whole series was arcing. It peaked. It was amazing, and then at the end, just kind of dipped down and just let me down a tiny bit.
Okay.
But 9 out of 10 is one of my best scores for anything. I rarely give anything a 10.
Okay, but what would you say it was kind of like, obviously it's not a rushed ending, so that's kind of like, in one sense, that if I haven't seen this, that makes me more interested, because like sometimes there's nothing more frustrating that you get this kind of like really, really high up to the end and then it ends. And you're like, So, okay.
No, this is nice. Nice little package.
If there was a season 2, would you like to see a season 2?
Well, I think season 1 works on its own. I think beginning, middle, end, it's very neat, and I couldn't see a season 2 of this story continuing. It just worked completely on its own. But there are characters there that could come back or be developed, like Monica Rambeau.
Okay.
She's a pretty interesting character. I think we could go along with her story.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like a spin-off situation. But I think as a series, I'm happy with 1 season of that.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Overall, I have to say, I really enjoyed WandaVision. I like the ending at the end. Just there's a little quirk to it, and will it tie in with an up and coming Marvel Doctor Strange? We don't know, but interesting. Yeah, but like it's a funny one. I know where you're saying that, like, just to leave it on season 1 and end the way it ends. I just think, it was so good, and it was a perfect story. And just the way how things play out, I think, on a nicer note, it is a good way to actually end it. So, I am very much, interesting one. It's going to be interesting to see how you guys thought. Have you watched WandaVision is one thing, and let us know what you thought, and let us know what you're watching. And next week, I think I will be talking about one that you mentioned, actually, Linda, was For All Mankind, which I'm looking forward to delving into that one. So next up, we have a challenge. Yes, this is going to be a section of the show that we're going to be thrown in. Well, most weeks if we can. But it doesn't have to necessarily be you guys challenging us, or Linda challenging me, or me challenging Linda. We can be evil and we can turn around and say, we're going to challenge you guys. So, we were kind of racking up this one and kind of came up with an idea, and then Linda added to the idea. So this is really, really cool. So this is if you want to help support a charity, and I'll let Linda give more on that one. But we are going to challenge you this week to do the Riker maneuver. Now, before you try this, right, take it easy. Do not kill yourself doing this. This is fun. Maybe Linda,
do
you've
some stretches.
Yeah, good advice.
Do some jumping jacks.
No bar stools.
No bar stools.
And if you don't feel comfortable doing it, just do a Riker pose or something like that. Jean-Luc Picard had his Captain Picard day. We're going to give Riker his own, the Riker maneuver. So what we want you to do is attempt to do the Riker maneuver safely. Mm-hmm. Challenge 3 friends and retweet. That's it. We're going to see.
And video. We want a video. Yes. We don't just want you going, okay, I did it.
Yes. Video is important.
Video yourself doing it.
And it wouldn't be fair for us to challenge you guys without us doing it first.
Oh, yeah.
So, yous are going to be... yous that came to the show, found us on YouTube, are going to be the first ones to see us do this. So, without going on too much more, let's take a look at us attempting our Riker maneuver challenges.
And can I just get in there before you go to the videos and say, we are also, if you want to do this for charity, whatever charity you want to sponsor, we would recommend a €5 donation to your chosen charity. No pressure. You can donate more, you can donate less, you can not donate, you can just do the challenge. It's completely up to you.
Absolutely. And I think this was a great idea by Linda, so I'm going to throw a $5 to Rahimi Hospice. I think that's just a good idea, because a lot of charities during lockdown haven't had a chance to get support. So it's up to yourself, guys, whatever you want to do. Main thing is be safe, have fun, challenge your Star Trek friends. Let's call this the Riker Maneuver Challenge. It's all about having fun. So without going on too much more, here is our attempts of the Riker Maneuver. Chris from the Nerd Escape YouTube show, and I am going to challenge 3 people to do our Riker Maneuver Challenge. So I would like Damien, aka the Irish Trekkie. I would like the boys and girls at Star Trek Era and the crew of the USS Cuchulainn to do the Riker Maneuver, record it and tag 3 other people and share it on Twitter. So let's have loads of fun, staying safe. Use a low chair, I think. So I'm about to make a tit myself, attempting the Riker Maneuver. Captain Riker never loses. Well, that was interesting, and I cannot wait to see our friends attempt these challenges. And the crew of the USS Cuchulainn, that doesn't just mean one person. One of few is the boys of Star Trek Era. I can't wait to see. Like, if I get Ronan to do it, it's fine. But there's a couple of good characters in there in that crew, and Damien should be interesting. So, Linda, like, who are you looking for?
And if you do it in uniform, that would make me very happy. Mm-hmm. If you have a Riker uniform.
Interesting. Yes, I like that. So, Linda, you have been scouring the communication relays on Star Trek. What's going on? Yep. What are people talking about? What's going on the internet?
So not any huge news this past week, but I did come across a Trek Corps tweeted. They always do on this day, in Star Trek. So they tweeted that it was the anniversary of the airing of Terra Prime in 2005, which was depending on who you ask, it was the second last episode of Enterprise, or you might consider it the finale of Enterprise. And it just made me laugh because almost every comment in that post was, this was actually the finale. I don't know what you're talking about. This was the last episode. So everyone was going, yeah, this was a perfect way to end the series. I don't know what happened the following week. Something was filmed and transmitted. I don't know. I don't have no memory of that. So the finale of Enterprise, Terra Prime. It was a really emotional episode. It was very sad.
I agree on that one now. I have to say, it's going to be interesting to see what our viewers think. Would you consider Terra Prime the last one? I do think, in fairness to the crew, the cast of the Enterprise, I definitely do. I'm on that side of the argument. I like the last episode. You could kind of fit in with, like, maybe do a rewatch, watch the Pegasus, and
and insert that in. Pause the episode. Watch.
I haven't.
These are the voyages.
Yeah.
Continue the episode. Yeah.
I haven't
see how that works.
done that. It's just such a shame, you know what I mean? I feel sorry for the crew and cast of Enterprise.
It's insulting. It was insulting.
And nothing on Jonathan Frakes or Maria Sir, because they're just actors. They're doing a job. They get called to Paramount. We need you to do something. They don't know. They get the script. They don't know if the actors or anyone's in on that. So, like, I've no badness for them. They're just doing a job. And I'm sure one or two actors, if it was the other way around, it's a gig. You know what I mean? They're going to take it. And they're popular characters in the Star Trek franchise. So, you know what I mean? It's...
Yeah. No, I love those characters. I've no problem with them guest starring in any series, but just the way they did it... I can't even talk about it. It makes me so cross. But it's like computer end program.
Yeah, like
that's it. That's all they get. You know.
And
I do like how they took the piss out of that in Lower Decks. I love that. I love it.
Terra Prime was one of them that reminded me of a James Bond film. You know, it's like the evil guy. You know, he has his moon base. Paxton, he has his moon base, and it's like, it blasts off, and then like, I've got control of the laser. It was a good episode, but like at the time, I remember watching that at the time when it aired. I was kind of like shocked because it was real dark Star Trek. You're like, we haven't seen anything like this. Like Deep Space Nine, I wouldn't have even said went that dark. You know, this was real homophobic humans. And you're like, ooh.
Xenophobic.
Xenophobic. Sorry, homophobic. Oh, homophobic. My God.
He was probably homophobic.
Yeah, probably as well, yeah. Let's call a spade a spade.
He was a bad man.
He was nasty man, bad man. But, and then you kind of sit in today's kind of world and we go, Jesus, like, who would have thought? You know what I mean? Like,
he didn't want aliens to have anything to do with humans. He accused the Vulcans of standing by while World War III was going on, even though they hadn't made contact yet. But you know that he's taken it out of proportion and saying no aliens involved whatsoever. But funnily enough, he had Rigelian gene therapy. He didn't want anyone to know about that.
It was one of them, like, the world was in a better place when that episode came out. So to think, you know what I mean? I thought it was like, whoa, this is dark for Star Trek. Like, you know what I mean? We're all coming together. And then you go to today and you see the way how the world has kind of gone. And you're kind of like, that's a kind of like a perfect Star Trek episode for today's world. Sadly enough. How quickly things can change. But, like, overall, I thought it was a really, really good episode. Yeah. Very, very sad that Enterprise ended the way it did. And, like, actually the cool thing is, I went to Paramount with Larry Nemeczek, and he showed me around a bit. And that room where they have the Delikids meet and all that is actually the screening room it's actually cinema in the back, so they do some of their premieres there. So I'm nearly sure it's the screening room, but like, it's so cool that I was in the room and it's like, oh my God, that's, you know what I mean? And it just added a few things. So great to see how these guys pick out locations and stuff like that and using within their own facility, you know. It's not just the sound stages and stuff like that. And I know they've done that a few times with other Star Trek productions. They walk around the lot and they go, oh, we'll film over there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's I think Terra Prime has to be the last one. But
Yeah.
here's an interesting one, because you spotted that and then I spotted another. I think it could have been from the boys from Trekcore. So I'm sorry that I've missed out who sent this initial link, but Rick Berman and co were asked about Enterprise and so forth like that, and what was plans for season 5. Now, this source is open, but like supposedly what they had planned for season 5 was, one, they were going to revisit the Mirrorverse and look at Emperor Hoshi and do a mini series in a series. So they were going to revisit a couple of episodes of that. Now
That sounds amazing. Who does not want to see what Emperor Hoshi is up to? Come on.
That just sounds like that was, I think, to be honest with you, like, they are nearly closely my favorite mirror universe. You know, I think Deep Space Nine did some good ones. Discovery did a good one, but In a Mirror Darkly was just, you know, it's just so well done, and it explains a lot, ties into TOS. So I do think Enterprise really nicked the mirror universe to a T. So to see them go back and do that would have been really cool. Origins of the Borg Queen to tie in with the Borg in Enterprise as a result of First Contact. Oh, that would have been
interesting.
That would have been.
But do we want to see the origins of the Borg Queen? She's better off as a mystery.
True. There is that debate. You know what I mean? And I think, like, say if Discovery or Picard or anyone else tried to try it now, I think no, leave it. I think Enterprise would have been perfect, because if you looked at the way how the story arc went, you had First Contact. They went back in time. Borg sphere crashed over Antarctica. The Enterprise is called back because of a discovery in Antarctica. So it would have worked perfect. To me, if you were going to do the origins of Borg Queen, yes, absolutely. Now, they send the Borg Queen and not the Borg. But that, to me, would have worked. And I'm not being bad on the current production crew, but I think it would have been done well. So, but the interesting one was, and we all knew that, this was said before in the past, that they were going to cover the Romulan War. But one interesting twist is that T'Pol's father was going to be Romulan, which was meant to explain some of her interests in human emotions. So that would have been absolutely fun. Like, if T'Pol's father was Romulan and nobody in the Federation, maybe was it a secret that T'Pol actually finds out and she tells no one, she's sworn to secrecy, and that, like, nobody, like Jonathan Archer and crew, don't know that he's
well, it would never come up. She'd never be like, hey guys, did anyone know my dad's a Romulan? That
would have been cool. And like, I would have loved to have seen the Romulan War, and I would have loved that then, obviously hope at some point then that Doug's refit NX-01, that would have been just, but
no, I disagree. I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see the refit?
No, I don't want to see the refit. No, I don't like it. I don't. It doesn't need a secondary hull. That's what's so nice about the NX-01. It's such. I have to say one thing. Doug Jackson did a fantastic job. I know people turn, it's the Akira. No, it's not. It's a lovely ship, and it works so well for Enterprise. So okay, we've done a show where we're giving Enterprise a lot of love. So so okay, guys. So what you think? Terra Prime being the last one, or are you happy enough with, these are the voyages? What would you love to have seen from season 5? And anything that you loved about Enterprise, why not? Let's show some Enterprise love for a change, because we really, we always kind of overlook Enterprise, so it's kind of cool to cover all the Trek. So now, moving on. This week we are doing a hot or not. So I have a little video done, and I'm covering the Lego 40th anniversary space shuttle. Now this thing's huge, so without me going on too much longer, let's take a look at the video clip. It's time for Is It Hot or Not? For our first Hot or Not, I take a look at the NASA Space Shuttle Discovery by LEGO to mark the 40th anniversary of the first Space Shuttle launch, which was Columbia. Now, this
beast of a kit from Lego is scaled at 1:72, so that makes this very, very large, and it is aged for 18 plus. So anyone that still has that child within them that wants to play with the brick to join it to another brick and so forth and so on and make something really, really cool, here's your perfect excuse. Now, this set will cost you £169 or €179 or 199 US dollars. And it has movable parts, some pretty cool display stands, and it also includes the Hubble telescope. And again, that has movable parts. And yes, you can attach it inside your shuttle if you choose to do so. And we also have that lovely Canadian arm. So if you think this is hot, just type hot and leave a comment. Or if you think it's not, just not. Why not? Looking forward to all your comments and what you think of our first hot or not. So, Linda, right, you're after seeing that. So what did you think? Is it hot or not?
Chris, I love Lego, but I don't have any Lego of my own. My kids have Lego. I would love to buy this for myself. In the 90s, I was a huge space shuttle fan. My only space shuttle is it's a little pullback space shuttle. I think I got that in Armagh Observatory.
Been there. That's such a cool place, actually. So a shout out for Armagh Observatory. Go.
Yes. So yes, I am a huge shuttle fan. I am a Lego fan from a distance because I can't own any with small children. They would just destroy it or take it apart or build something else with it.
It is one of them when you're paying that kind of money, and you can't blame a child. Like, Lego is for children, it's creative, it's imaginative.
Totally.
But when you pay something and it's meant to be a certain way, you know, a child's mind comes along and goes, this is meant to be
I would be like the dad in the Lego movie. I would have to glue that together.
One of the great things about the Lego movie is exactly that. Yes, you would have to glue it together if you had kids. But then you're spoiling the whole fun of Lego. Yeah, it's great to take stuff out of a box and build it as it is. But just that child in you. I think that's the great thing about when Lego are going back and doing stuff like this for the older adults. And I'd love to know, has there been any adult that just went, you know what, I've built it, now I'm going to break it apart and I'm going to let the child out? Because I guarantee you there's none.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you have, please show us a photograph of what you came up with. Like, what is your space shuttle, or what did you make out of the Lego bricks?
That makes me, that's horrible. I don't want to think about that.
But that was the fun of being a child. I remember, you build the thing first, and then after that, you're like, no, I gotta put crazy stuff.
I'm sitting here looking at the police station that we got for them a year ago, and they had it put together for about a month after Christmas, and then it was in a million pieces in the big huge box, and we eventually convinced them, let's put it back together and leave it like that. So it has been over there on display. Well, they play with it a little bit, but
has there been super glue used?
They have no, but there is a big box of random parts from lots of kits that we bought them and they loved, and they put the kits together and it's just exploded into a big mess. And every day they're like, look what I made, and it's brilliant. But it just kind of, why did we pay so much money for the kit if you're not going to use it? But I want hot. Yeah, hot. Definitely hot.
The Hubble telescope on its own could have been sold separately because it's so good. And I've looked at, I've seen other companies do the tower for the Saturn V, and why hasn't Lego gone back to their Saturn V and actually make that and make the crawler? And I hope they actually go back and make the solid rockets and the external fuel tank, because I think a lot of people would actually pay for that. Probably the same amount of the kit. I think it would just add to it. It's really, really cool. So I'm going hot on this one, but it's more down to you guys. Now, no one's right on this. This is a bit of fun. This is showing love. Get your opinions going. Do you think it's hot? Do you think it's hot? Do you think it's too pricey? Lego is pricey. I've always found with Lego kits though, when you slap NASA onto something, or you slap Lord of the Rings or Star Trek or any, once you put a name, Star Wars, the price of Lego, like the kit trebles in value. I remember when my son, when he was younger, he was like looking at something. I said, no, look, come here, look at the Lego kits. As you said, like the police station. Like, if you've actually, it's scary. You go into a shop, and if you just look at Lego's own and what you can get for the same amount of money, say on the Star Wars. The Star Wars is like about 1/3 the size.
Looking at you, Millennium Falcon.
No,
another show.
that's another show altogether. Yeah, we might actually do a hot or not. Like, I don't have it. You can't justify that and spend that much on Lego. Oh, if only if I win a lot, maybe you can actually review that one. Actually, you can drool over photographs of it. Millennium Falcon. So that has been this week's hot or not. So, right, a little bit of fun, and to see how good you guys are with your Star Trek, and have you got the ear of an engineer or a captain that can, know that something needs to be calibrated, or, funny sound in the engine, or can you name that quirky little thing? So this week we have a sound. Ignore the music in the background. We just want the cheaps. Can you tell us what this is from the Star Trek episode? So, here is your sound of the week. So, Linda, I kind of gave you a sneak preview of this one and you struggled with it.
That was tricky. Yes, that was tricky. But I'll say the music might help there.
Yes.
You never know.
Yes, it will.
It might give a bit of a clue.
Yeah, because...
But if you can filter the music and the sound, in your brain, then you'll be flying. Yeah,
it's a good one. It's a tricky one to start off with. I was a bit nasty. But yes, I do think
you were mean.
Yes, and I do think. Listen to Linda's hint there. The music in there might help you to narrow down which series it's from. Yeah. So if you can kind of twig that out, you might. And if you're stuck in it and you don't know the answer. You can't get.
We might start giving clues.
Yes, we might. I think that's a good idea. But I think that is pretty much on our show, Linda.
Yeah, I think we're bang on half an hour there, Chris. I think we're flying. So let's wrap it up here, and we'll say, join us next time. Same nerd time, same nerd channel. Where there'll be more of this ridiculous carry on and more fun and craziness. So until then, take it easy.